What's up, everybody? This is John G from Becomeabeatmaker.com on WinkSound.
And in this tutorial, I want to talk about what a sound font is and what it does. On FL Studio, there's a plugin called the Fruity SoundFont player. This is what it looks like. Okay, and the way you bring this up, you can either right-click on a channel here and go down to Insert, and then look for the Fruity SoundFont player. And then you can also load it up here if you click on Channels, and then go over to the right and look for the SoundFont player right there. Okay. The SoundFont is just a piece of MIDI that these SoundFont players, they take the information and translate it into music, because MIDI by itself doesn't contain audio, it just contains information. But when you bring it into a player such as this, it translates that information into sound. By default, you should have a string ensemble. This is the Fruity default sound font that it comes with. It's over here in your browser window. By default, you'll see some of these tabs here. And if you go down to sound fonts, you'll see that string ensemble. So when you bring up the Fruity SoundFont player, you should just get that. And you know, it sounds pretty good. I buy a lot of drum kits from modernbeats.com, and when you get a kit from them, so I'm just going to go ahead and select the club claps here, bounce claps. They'll include sound fonts within each sound set. So if you buy a drum kit from Modern Beats, you can use the sound font that they include in that, and then just bring it on over to the sound font player in FL Studio. So now you got all those different sounds right there, and that comes in pretty handy when you're laying down some stuff. Just load in a whole drum kit via SoundFont, so it's all good. And also, if you're a Reason user, in particular if you use Recycle, you can actually create your own sound fonts in Recycle, which is really cool. You just bring in a sound or copy a certain part of a sample and then export it as a sound font and then import it into FL Studio, which is actually really cool, because then you're creating your own sound fonts. You're getting that original flavor going on. Once the sound font is in the sound font player, you got all these parameters. You got your attack, decay, sustain, and release functions here. You got your synthesizer functions, your LFOs here. You have your cut, mod wheel, okay, and then up here, the miscellaneous. This is just another volume adjustment. You can cut the sound so it doesn't roll over itself. Your function, this is pretty cool, because any sound font that you bring into here, you can go down to your arpeggiator and you can arpeggiate it up, arpeggiate it down, or up and down. So let me just go ahead and get those strings back in there and arpeggiate that. Alright, John Z signing off. Becomeabeatmaker.com.
Join the conversation by following WinkSound on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube to keep up with everything you need to know about music and audio technology.